Okay, we are live.
Yay!
Hello!
Hello and welcome. I am Ronnke, your GM, and joining me today in order of their character avatars, we have FX Engineer, Nosh, Rigel Kent, Gigaman, and Mel. Today we embark on our Star Wars campaign titled Vanguard, using the very awesome and versatile GURPS system by Steve Jackson Games. Not everyone can watch the live stream, but worry not, our sessions are available on YouTube as audio-only YouTube and as audio-only podcasts. You can find the links in the video description. If you find our content appealing and engaging, we kindly request that you show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Before we dive into the action, does anyone have any character business they'd like to address?
Absolutely. I have points and I don't know what to spend them on.
Okay.
I actually went ahead and added combat reflexes. I think we've seen enough combat now. I probably qualify.
Oh, you didn't have it already?
Getting a bit jumpy.
No, this Nim was never a combat guy, really.
Well, if you have the points for combat reflexes, that's fine. Actually, we'll go through the list. Does Bosco have any character business?
He would like to spend some points. I just don't know what I could spend them on for skills. He's got 8 points.
Well, since this is going to be the last episode of this season, well, potentially last. Who knows what
Episode or
episode with several sessions.
okay.
But we might have to do filler stuff depending on whether people are ready for the next run of games.
Are there any social engineering skills that Bosco's still missing?
Sex appeal.
Sex appeal. I don't have that. Actually, I do. Nope, I don't.
What? I thought you were our man whore. I mean, you were like, didn't we just rescue your girlfriend's brother?
He's social, but remember, he's not a man whore.
No, Daryl is the man
Yet.
whore.
He would like to. I mean, I don't know what I could spend them on, but I'd like to probably do like some. Stealth is already like, yeah, a couple of skills that I can put like 2 points each. You know.
How much downtime have we had?
It doesn't really matter, so as much downtime as you want. Well, need.
I would probably raise my observation a level. I'd probably put like something in one of my some sort of combat skill, one of my social skills, and then probably my interrogation.
Yep, that's fine.
And then I'll
Well,
just
we
spend
use
all
interrogation enough.
Daryl, does he have any character business?
Well, he's got 6 points unspent. He really would just like to boost his IQ, but that feels like that could take 2 years of gameplay. So I think I'll just keep my 6 points, and somewhere in the far distant future, when I come back to gaming, I'll spend them sometime.
Fair enough. Luck.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to spend them on, so holding them.
Nim?
Already stated.
And Tina.
Okay, so I have a couple of options. I have enough points with some to spare that I could actually bump up a skill, like an attribute. or I could just pick like 2 or 3 that I have in my list to train, stuff that I used last session. Which would be better in the long run?
You
Depends on the attribute, I suppose.
So she's got 24 unspent points because I went
Goodness.
through a few episodes where she didn't make any rolls at all, and so I didn't have anything I could train. So what I was thinking is a lot of her skills are IQ based, and bump up her IQ to a 14 and spend 20.
Yeah, that's fine. I noticed that you don't have a skill for your lightsaber. Perhaps you want to consider spending some points there.
Yeah, it's up to you, because I think it would depend on if you felt like she had had the opportunity to use it enough that I could actually justify putting a point into it.
Well, she should probably have repair for it.
I'm happy with you to spend some points in your lightsaber. Another possible consideration, given that you're aiming to be a force user of sorts, you may want to keep those IQ points, or those points you spent for your IQ, on getting some force abilities.
Okay, yeah, that is a good point. Okay, so for now, if you are okay with it, I'll put a point into whatever skill it is for lightsaber. I'll have to look up what skill that is.
Force sword.
Okay, that. And then I'll hold the rest of the points until we can come up with a game plan on what kind of skills that she would have access to.
You know, what's amusing is like she's got 24 points, and I was looking at sonic powers, and combat sense is 24 points a level, and that is combat reflexes, danger sense combined.
No, she has intuition, not danger sense.
Yeah.
Just think she already had it.
Okay, so I'll put a point into the force sword, and then I'll hold on to the rest, and we'll discuss in the future, like how to proceed.
There's the
Just
skill
needs a
force sword.
montage.
You should be able to just copy that to your character sheet.
Awesome, thank you.
And it's very awesome that Nosh, you've made this module.
And it's still spelled wrong.
What's which one? Sorry.
Which module?
No, the ability is spelled wrong. I know we pointed that out before, and I don't think that was Nosh's fault either.
Nosh did those modules for all the skills, advantages and disadvantages.
May have to get that.
Oh, those. Yes, yes. You're most welcome.
Do we have a download to that, Pens?
I'm not sure, but if we do,
So
it
I'll
would have to be
sort that out.
private, unfortunately.
Well, that's all that.
All right, so before we kick it off, any other questions or any stuff like that?
Just wondering why the GM is vamping.
It's too early in the morning. All right, so Nosh, are you ready?
I am ready.
Begin when you want.
Episode 5, Rebellion's Call. With the arrival of Moff Panaka on Phantine, sweeping changes have befallen the city of Minerva. A curfew is in place, and Imperial stormtroopers are ever present on the streets. Security at Marcoxit facilities is tight, and all shipments of the vital ore have armed escorts. The civilian population is at a tipping point as divisions grow. Murmurs of rebellion circulate amongst those under the imperial heel, while collaborators, content with the status quo, inform on those brave enough to speak out against the empire. The charismatic leader, Saw Gerrera, and some of his partisans have traveled to Phantine, hoping to enlist the aid of resistance fighters. If his plans succeed, it will strike a serious blow to the Galactic Empire in the sector.
Thank you. Very good. Okay, so there are going to be some minor adjustments, mostly for Bosco.
Mhm.
With the... let me just close this crawl. Actually, no, let's leave it running for the time being. With the added heat present, your family has been under some scrutiny, and there is some suggestions that you perhaps are involved in resistance, or at least a resistance supporter. As such, the family has recommended that you disappear for a little while.
So it was great having you here for the session, and
Well, I do have a backup character.
As by that I mean disappear for a while with regards to your running of the business and your normal daily duties.
I'm being disowned.
Not disowned, just told lay low, disappear for a bit, go on a holiday.
We need you to move your desk into the basement.
Okay.
Take a stapler.
As mentioned in the crawl, there is division amongst the populace. Obviously, those people that do well by the occupation, such as the wealthy families and such, they are happy to try and maintain the status quo because it doesn't really affect them a great deal. So they actually work to help the empire do their business. The rest of the populace is feeling the added pressure on their day-to-day goings about, and the criminal elements are seriously frustrated. Their business is grinding to a halt because of all the scrutiny.
They're bad criminals.
They are. So I don't know how that's going to affect your characters, if there's anything in particular that you'll be wanting to do in regards to your usual activities. You do have people that are going to happily rat you out if they find out details, and then there are those that will flock to your cause with a bit of persuasion, of course. So is anyone planning on changing their usual habits?
Negative.
I believe previously I did mention it may have been just on the. I think actually now that I think about it, it was just on the boards where Luck was going to have started to suggest everybody starts getting a things go to crap um, uh, exit plan because for this very
Mm.
thing. And I know Luck is like a day worker sort of thing, but he is when he does move around, he's going to be making sure to be wearing a rebreather, so most of his face is concealed. Because I figure, well, in this place, that's not going to stand out too much.
No harm in getting a go bag put together.
Okay, so I'll go through each person in turn, because if you do change your habits, you'll need to describe how you change it. If you don't, I'm going to get you to make a universe reaction roll to see if there are any complications that sort of arise for you.
Well, if you do change your habits, why does that go away?
Well, it'll be, instead of the universe reaction roll, it'll be determined by your role. So if you're, I don't know, if you're going to disappear into the underworld, use contacts and stuff like that, you will, your streetwise role will determine whether there's complications or not. So if you succeed, you can avoid complications. If you fail, there may be complications. If that makes sense. So, Bosco.
Yeah.
How are you planning, or you're kind of forced to make some changes? How do your changes manifest? Or what skill are you going to be using to keep yourself from getting in trouble?
Well, I think, I mean, he's got the quote unquote the warehouse. So he'll basically maybe move there full time. And skill wise, he's got stealth. I think, I mean, he'll just use stealth.
All right, so you're going to move about using stealth. Give me a stealth roll, please.
He'll only, move around at night.
However, give me that roll in the box, please.
Let's check stealth, traits, abilities.
Maybe I should say make that a hidden roll.
Oh,
He
there's no
doesn't-
use trying to change it now.
Okay, so I just drag it right into the little triangle.
Yep.
Stealth.
I think the triangle will light up when you hover over it.
So he will like refrain from going out during the day, and then he will just only in the evening hours whenever he needs to do business.
All right,
His business.
that's fine. Keep in mind there is a curfew, so you'll be trying to dodge patrols and stuff like that during the nights. All right, Daryl, are you changing your daily habit, or are you going to be doing your usual thing?
Daryl is going to be throwing himself into any gambling establishment he can find to keep him occupied in the evenings. And during the day, he is going to be skulking around the various spaceports, just keeping his eye on what's going on with potential contraband opportunities that he could jump on board with if he had to get out of here real fast.
Okay, so do you want to do a gambling or streetwise?
Oh, a gambling.
Okay, give me that roll in the box, please. Make it a hidden roll. All right, luck. What's your plan?
My plan. Okay, so as noted, whenever he does go to work, he is going to be wearing the rebreather, which I am based off of the location. I'm fairly certain that's going to, that's going to be fairly common around here, where old miners are still wearing rebreathers and crap like that. Otherwise, he's going to probably loiter whenever he's loitering somewhere. It's going to be at that bar owned by I don't remember what his name is.
Hobbs.
Is it Hobbs? Yeah.
Okay, so I guess
Probably
disguise or stealth.
it's likely going to be stealth, but I guess it would be sort of he's trying to keep an eye on an ear out as well. But yeah, it'll be stealth.
All right, give me a roll in the box. Okay, Nim, what's your plan during this period?
He's like he left.
What is the general leaning of the underworld at this point? Are they more for the status quo, or are they embracing the upcoming change?
You have different opinions in that. Some want to maintain the status quo because they want business to return as it was before. But there are some saying that now that the Empire's here and they're cracking down real hard, there's no going back to the way it was before. So they're embracing potential resistance.
Fight the man.
I suppose that Nim would probably be using his knowledge of underworld procedures to not to disappear, but just to be seen where he's supposed to be seen, and to not be seen where he's not supposed to be seen. That sort of thing. Make sure the rats are ratting out somebody else.
Okay, so streetwise.
Yeah.
Give me a roll in the box.
Damn it! I was gonna do that in the box. I'll do another one in the box. Keep the good one.
All right, Tina. What's your plan?
All right. Tina will continue her, she usually hangs out at the docks and the shipyards taking on repair work and stuff. She'll continue to do that, but she will take measures to protect her identity. She's going to start wrapping her hair up in like a cloth, not like a turban or anything, but like a headscarf, so that the pink hair isn't visible unless somebody happens to like rip it
headscarf
off.
is pink, it's not going to work.
Or
It's not pink.
She could dye her hair.
No, let's not go crazy here. So she's going to do that, and she'll continue to do the odd jobs, but she will take Luck's suggestion, especially since she picked up the careful quirk in one of our more recent fights. She will have a go bag ready to go at a moment's notice with all of her important gear in it.
All right, so you're going to resolve that via a skill or a universe roll. I guess disguise is a possibility. Stealth.
She does not have disguise, so I would probably want to roll stealth.
All right, so give me a roll in the box for that one.
You know, I recall that in Ultratech there's an implant hair thing to be able to change the color of your hair.
That we don't need to do anything drastic.
Well, if you had the implant, you could just turn the pink on and off.
Okay.
Oh, the possibilities. Rainbow.
So over the course of the weeks that have passed since all this has sort of gone down, you have noticed the increase in security. There are often patrols that you encounter, and there's sort of random stops and checks. Anyone going into sensitive areas like the starport and such, they're checked thoroughly. Goods are checked, and if it's in Imperial facilities that are related to the Macoxit production and such, they are very tightly controlled. And there's armed guards, and every transport that you see that leaves with Macoxit ore is always escorted by Imperial ships.
In addition to what Luck just put in the chat, Tina will make note of ships, Imperial ships that are arriving and departing, and kind of like a head count of the people who get off, just to pass on to the group.
Well, I guess if we're gathering intelligence, then Nim will be gathering the comings and going of the criminal elements and how they're getting squeezed and where and by whom.
Okay, so those people that are going to be doing intel gathering of a sort, you can give me an observation roll. This will represent what you sort of work out.
That's one I need to put more points in.
What's the default of that?
Perception -5, I think.
Okay. Okay, that is a negative on Tina. She fails by 5.
All right, so Luck, you're going about your job, hanging with the miners and stuff.
Yep.
So you will see every mine
grunt work.
Every mine transport that transports miners to and from mines and such, they are all escorted, and miners are checked to make sure that they're not carrying anything they shouldn't be, or they're not, carrying terrorist paraphernalia. I guess that means you would be checked as you go about your stuff. So as long as you're playing the game,
yep, he's aware.
They'll leave you be, but they'll be doing their checks.
Yep, he's aware of the game, and if he needs a weapon, he'll take one from them and then run away.
Okay, so Drill. You were at the spaceports looking for like smuggling and such, right?
Correct.
You will see that almost all the usual operators that come and go selling their or smuggling their wares and stuff have almost ceased operations. Ships are grounded, or you can see that those pilots have left with empty holds and such. When anytime a ship is preparing to leave, you'll see that the customs officials and such will be escorted by stormtroopers, and they will be checking sort of every ship that comes and goes.
Okay. And am I noticing any sort of bribery of these custom officials or stormtroopers in any way?
You do see some bribing. With it succeed by 6, yes. You do see some bribing. You don't know the specifics of it, but there's obviously some greasing of palms, and it seems to work for minor things.
Okay, so Daryl will make a note of which custom officials seem to be open to bribery.
Okay, you can do that. Nim. You are going about in the lower levels. You will notice that there are troopers that do patrols. They will stop random people, and at the same time, you're also seeing that they're searching for particular individuals. So troopers will enter bars, workplaces, and say, they're looking for so-and-so person. You have seen on one occasion a person flee. Well, a person was collected. He attempted to flee, but was intercepted with blaster bolts in the back. This obviously in this particular case, caused some unrest amongst the civilians in the area.
Let's start a riot.
But the stormtroopers started pointing guns and threatening, and people would back down. But you have seen them carting away individuals for whatever reason. They are cuffed, locked up, and taken away. You have not seen any return yet.
I think you would end up trying to do some discreet inquiries as to who those people might have been. Try to see if there's a pattern. I mean, we can all make some assumptions about that, but
what skill would you consider using for that?
well, I would lean towards streetwise because that's my best skill. But outside of that, it's really just asking around. There's not really a skill involved.
Okay. Streetwise would work. Streetwise tells you the right people to talk to and stuff, so give me that.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so you will learn that a lot of these people have been rather vocal and or vocal about the Empire, saying that
Right.
murmurs of rebellion and stuff like that. And you have learnt from talking to people, you'll talk to some guy and they say, look, just keep your nose out of it. You don't know who to trust. There's people here that have been snitching, telling on anyone that's getting a little bit loud, stuff like that. So basically, people turning on people. These are those people that are being picked up, are those that have made some, have done some actions against the Empire. And Tina, you were checking to see ships coming and going. Is that correct?
Yes, but she failed by 5. So
Oh, that's right. So you get no real useful information that others haven't already got.
gotcha.
And then when we go to the scene in the warehouse, we totally have a wall with all of the various information with pasted on it,
And strings.
holographic strings even.
Also, Nim, since you were in the underworld and you were seeing people getting picked up and stuff, you notice there's also some mob justice where people will find out who snitched, and that person will be found beaten, and on occasion they've had an unfortunate accident.
Tragic that. Well, things look rough. We should start a riot.
Through your various sources, you have received a message that Saw Gerrera is on Phantine and wants to meet with you guys.
Where exactly on Phantine? If the city-state is locked down, that'll be interesting.
Did we ever figure out what our signal was?
Groovy.
I don't know what your bat signal was, but whatever it is, it was activated.
Dancing Twi'lek.
Saw is in Minerva.
Okay, well, if we can confirm that it's actually him, and also before we do that, I was wondering about utilizing the intelligence analysis skill to see if luck can basically map out the strengths and weaknesses of the Imperial forces within the city, based off of the information we've gathered. Sort of like, okay, this section of the city is a no-go zone for them. This section, we're gonna have to take a walker in there, an actual AT-AT, not our chicken walker. That sort of thing.
Oh, I forgot to mention, if the current situation is not bad enough, hovering above your heads is a Imperial Star Destroyer.
I'm having some thoughts about that Imperial Star Destroyer.
And every now and then you will see shuttles coming and going from that ship. You will know that this is Moff Panaka's Star Destroyer.
The ISS Bugnuts? What's the name of it?
Got a company car.
Well, the way they name Imperial Star Destroyers, it's going to be something like the Desolator or the,
Hateful.
that could totally work.
I know that after he dies, he actually gets a Star Destroyer named after him, but I don't know what his actual Star Destroyer is called. I don't know if
Well,
it's
let's see
ever
if
mentioned.
Wikipedia tells me anything.
Otherwise, happy to make up a name for it.
Was there ever a war spite in Star Wars?
There can't be a war spite. That's too cool of a name.
Well, it's British, so it fits.
But it's too cool of a name. Yeah, they have just like really irritating, crappy names. They're like, the aggressor and the desolator and all that stuff. It's like, man, you're not even trying to hide the fact that you're the bad guys, right?
Burninator.
It's not going to be the Burninator.
The
That's too
ISS
bad.
Trogdor.
The Obliterator.
I was thinking of perhaps IIS loyalty, because the only reason Panaka's a Moff is because his loyalty to Palpatine.
Ooh, Interrogator wouldn't be bad.
I like that.
There we go. I knew there was one. I was looking for accuser, adamant, admonitor, adjudicator, agonizer. But yeah, interrogator would probably. It's probably scroll down and see. Yep, interrogator was one in. Actually, it was in West End Games. Flagship for High Inquisitor Tremaine. I remember this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. Okay.
Well, that's not
Interrogator-
canonical.
Yep, the interrogator it is, which also probably means we've got a crap ton of ISB people on the ground. So we need to start ganking some dudes.
Yes,
Right,
it is.
yeah.
It is a target-rich environment at the moment.
Great. This is like we're like in Baghdad. But we're the bad guys?
Do you have skulls on your helmets?
As I shove one of the helmets that I have into a corner. No at all. Not at all. Right, but yeah, if we can confirm. Oh, right, yeah. So should I make that roll, or would that not be of any actual use in this case? The intelligence analysis thing.
Go for it. Make the roll.
All right. Well, success by 0. I tried to fail that. So clearly, the Imperials are making a lot of changes on the fly. It's difficult to keep up.
Let's resolve that as a +1 planning point that you can use anytime. There's an incident where some forethought or foreknowledge, I should say, could help you out.
Shiny.
Is it
We now
possible
have-
to use one of my contacts, maybe with what is it, Nova Security, NovaSec, I mean,
Yes.
or my rebel contact, Kaylin Breed, if I can get like what's the end game for the, maybe some more information on what the rebels are.
Well, you kind of know the end game.
I mean, not the
because
rebels, the Imperials.
they want to make sure that any resistance or rebellion is completely squashed, and they can ensure the supply chain of Mecoxit leaving Phantine.
What about maybe trying to find, based on the information they can give me, any like a weak point, like where we can hit them hard.
Sure. Give me a roll on your local contact, which was it, Novasec?
Yeah, I mean, I could try Novasec and the Rebel. I can both. Let me see.
Actually, that would be some useful information to see how they're interacting with Novasec.
Let's find. I got so many tabs that I'm still not like. Let's see.
It'll be in your abilities tab and then other.
Common sense tab control.
Other. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I hit the double click on the dice, right?
Single click.
Or single click. Single click. So success by 2 for availability on Novasec. And then
All
the
right.
actual
Give me
skill
his skill roll.
is success by 2. Current affairs regional. That's what I under.
Okay, he will tell you that it is shit at the moment, and he's saying, we can't talk like this. We've got to be really careful. There's ISB personnel that are going through all the Novasec records. They suspect there are resistance sympathizers within security that have been, giving out information. So things are really tough there. As to what is your question that you want to ask of your contact?
Well, we know that basically we know that the ISB and they're trying to put down the rebellion, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Like, we know that information. Based on what you know, is there any details about exactly what they're doing or some sort of vulnerability that we can take advantage of? Hit them hard.
Well, your contact will tell you, Bosco, you're crazy if you want to try and do something at the moment. You're going to get yourself killed. But he tells you he has heard ISB agents talking, and there is something going on with Administrator Kratal. There is, Panaka is not happy with him. Beyond
That's our fault.
Beyond what's, his inability to, get things under control. So there's something more. It's almost like Administrator Kratal is being investigated at the same time.
I wonder if we can put some more heat on him, make him look even more bad. First, get him fired.
Well,
Cause
there's the other
disarray.
side of that is maybe we're better off with him in charge.
Oh, that's true. He's incompetent.
So do we need like a fall guy, someone that we can shift the blame to that's not the administrator?
Bosco.
But the
Tina
No, I wouldn't do
administrator.
that.
let me just make sure I understand. The administrator, though, Patel, he's definitely an Imperial sympath. He's an Imperial. He's just fucking up at his job, right? Or is he potentially one of us?
GM fail. He didn't share the images of the people that we're throwing names out for.
Fair enough. I'll show the images.
Quick,
Is he gonna?
blame it on the
is he-
team too early over there.
See if it's got a rebel flag or an Imperial flag.
No, I don't think we have any actual reason to think Krytel would be sympathetic.
He's just
It's probably not even anything that he's done that's been specifically incompetent. It's just that
he's the boss.
he has failed. So
yeah. You know what?
shit
Maybe
rolls
we
downhill.
can make him look bad again. He fails and he says, "Fuck the Empire." Maybe I'll just switch sides. Because he gets
Excellent. Then
tired
we
of
can
being.
shoot him because we don't trust him. He was an Imperial.
You do know that his incompetence is probably mostly due to the fact that he isn't overly interested in the day-to-day running of stuff. Who else do we need?
Man,
Well, at least-
Saw got younger.
At least as a team, we know that's a weak point if we just, choose to exploit it somehow. What else should we look for? Anything else?
Like any other weaknesses?
Well, I think I was mostly just talking to the team.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be useful to know what exactly they're accusing Krytel of. If there's anything beyond just the failure to do his specific job.
Well, you'll know from your Novasec contact that they appear to be digging into information related to Carl. Sort of above and beyond his incompetence. They've come into Novasec offices and said they want all the data on Krytal, any known people that he is associating with, that sort of stuff. So they're gathering information on him. Whether that's going to be used for some particular purpose or not, you have no idea. You just know that they're gathering that information.
I suppose it might be useful if they're looking into him as a possible sympathizer, that if he were to be shown to be one, they might just remove him and then say, "Well, we're done here." Might be a bit of a stretch, though.
It's a possibility, but you don't know. You don't know from your contact. He's not able to tell you exactly what they're looking for. ISB don't disclose their investigation. They just want the information. From your intelligence analysis. So you were trying to look for weaknesses in their stuff?
Yeah, basically, he's just like at this point we're in turtle mode and gather intelligence mode. So he's basically trying to uh,
And you
map
also
out,
wanted,
map out. Okay, what their most frequent movements. Where are their strong points? Where are their weak points?
all right, and you also wanted to work out whether Saw is actually Saw.
Yes, definitely. We don't want to walk in there and be surrounded by stormtroopers and have to shoot our way out.
As far as you can tell, it seems legit.
Well, he does mention how we just helped him in the Twilight Vale, so not many people know that. So it sounds like we need to go meet him.
So, long story short, open scene 1, where you guys are traveling to meet Saw at a prearranged location.
Minerva was where we were, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I even have a picture of that. There you go. How will you guys be getting there?
Stealthily.
And who's going? Will you be taking transport, or will you be going on foot?
I always wonder if it's better to come in separately or come in together.
Well, it kind of also depends on how far away he is. Whether going in via transport is going to, attract attention, and we don't want to get flagged down. I'd just as soon try to use the sewers. But we know you can't get that stink out of a Wookiee's fur for like months, so nobody wants that.
And Daryl does not want that. He will be cussing.
Nobody wants that.
Do they even have sewers? Is that a thing in this tech level?
What are you talking about? You saw a sewer in the first movie.
Well, that wasn't a sewer. That
It's
was
a trash
just
compactor.
a garbage compactor.
So at this point, foot or vehicle?
You have to answer our question. Does, based off of where we're supposed to meet him, are there stops along the way where it's like, oh, yep, they've got, we'd get flagged down and have to deal with stormtroopers. How far away is it?
Well, as far as you know, it's a bit of a coin toss because there's obviously your set checkpoints from the upper levels to the lower levels, but then there's also random patrols and stops that just sort of crop up, like random interceptions.
So what you're saying, it could be a roll of the dice, haha.
Yes, literally.
Digitally.
Well, what I need to know is how you guys will enter this scene. Will you enter it in a vehicle, together, separate, or on foot? Or any combination of the above?
I think if we come in separately, that'll probably increase the chances that at least one of us gets through. Because if we all go in together, clumped up, we could all get nabbed at the same time.
Oh, we're not going to get nabbed. We might get shot and blown up, but I guess we might as well go in a vehicle and make sure it looks like we're just hauling, junk.
If it's during the day, people still go about their business. Curfew is after dark. So curfew is when it gets really risky to travel. During the day, people are going about their stuff. It's, chance that you'll encounter a stop or a checkpoint or something like that that's been set up for that particular time.
Right.
All right,
well,
so vehicle. So I will
yeah, I
assume
guess
that
so.
you're going together, and Daryl is driving.
And we should look like employees who are transporting some junk.
Will you guys have weapons stashed, held out, or shoved into secret nooks and crannies on your vehicle?
Dashed.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We're terrorists at this point. We're totally stashed.
Yeah, I have smuggling that works for hiding stuff on vehicles, right?
I have soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could smuggle if you want to hide stuff on your vehicle.
Yeah, we might as well get some use out of that.
Go for it.
You want me to roll just to have like a roll saved
Yeah,
if it comes up in the box or public?
you can make it public.
Okay, rolling, smuggling. And what is that? I got 3 ones. Why didn't it show? What?
That's totally
That
right.
sucks.
Oh man.
Uh,
Well, at least you still rolled by 6.
2
But
ones this
yeah,
time. I got
but
3
man,
ones, but it just rolled on my character sheet. It didn't roll in
that
the.
sucks. So sorry about that, dude.
Hey, I think I got a decent roll though.
yeah.
Bosco's gonna have his holdout blaster on him all times. That's just standard, and he'll have his rifle in the vehicle, hidden, smuggled. He'll
Okay.
also have his carry bag with basic medicine stuff.
Unfortunately, did you guys get all those messages?
What messages?
Good. Means only I got them.
That means no.
Whoops.
That's not what you want to hear the GM say.
See Daisy.
Did you break it?
I did for a second.
Oh, look.
Oh, and it's got the grid on there too. Yay.
Why are there stormtroopers there? Oh.
That's the checkpoint. I
So
like the graphics.
it's a AI generated map, that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Really?
thought it
Down
was
to
pretty
that,
cool.
are we?
That is pretty cool.
Yes, indeed.
And I can just envision all of the artists who make these maps are like, fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty useful. I'm actually subscribed to a Facebook group that is Tabletop RPG AI or something. And some of the stuff that people are posting there is just, awesome. Awesome tool for role playing. Anyway, moving on.
That answers that question. Have you looked at the new functionality on the maps with the hover image?
If you hover over it, it shows your icon in the top.
Yeah. Do you know how that works?
Nope.
So wondering if that's something we could adjust, have it actually show the portrait instead of the token.
That would only work for PCs. NPCs
That's
don't have a
true.
portrait.
I really wish the NPCs could have a portrait, to be fair.
Well, they could if we built it into the rule set. There's nothing that says I couldn't.
And made them PCs.
So, you will be in your speeder. Let's just do it like this.
We're in a pretend speeder. We're all
will-
just walking, going beep.
I will drop a speeder down.
Right on top of us.
Damn it, I was hoping to have planned this route where we wouldn't run into this crap.
Well, it's random.
And we're on Minerva Street. That's like the worst street.
So,
This is what you get when you have a Wookiee drive.
you will see a couple of biker scouts sitting on their speeders or speeder bikes off to the side up here. And you can see a sort of makeshift checkpoint. There is a sergeant and a 4 troopers, and they seem to be stopping and flagging anyone that sort of they intend to investigate.
So this is where we start digging through our stuff, but not looking suspicious.
Right. So Look's very first reaction is to start eyeballing everywhere around us to sort of like get a tactical assessment. Like, okay, if this crap kicks off, where will our what's over there? What's over there?
Well,
And
I'm
he
thinking,
succeeded by 5 on a tactics check in case it comes up.
I mean, unless we're disguised, I'm sure they're going to recognize us probably on the most wanted poster somewhere, or maybe I am.
Probably shouldn't be on a wanted poster yet.
Well, at least they've been investigating my family, so they know who I am.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you're on the wanted poster, but you're a person of interest.
Before he was just an interesting person.
All right, so you will enter this area, and you will see the situation here. There is one exit that's sort of being blocked by troopers, and they are waving people over. And then you have, the exit to the south and the exit to the west there.
And we're trying to go north. or can we just like speed by them to the west?
So are they
Bypass 'em.
only stopping people who are going to the north?
The troopers are stopping people going to the north, but you have the sergeant pointing to people and waving them over. Say, get over here.
Okay.
I mean, we're either gonna like try to talk our way through this, or force our way through, or fight our way through, or
Well,
run
it's
away.
one of those that if we like gun it, it's going to stop a fight. If we play along, we might get waved on to where we can go west, and they ignore us. But we know how the dice are, so we know we're going to probably get summoned closer. In which case, it's going to turn into a fight. Granted, Luck is a soldier, and his general first thought about everything is, yep, treat it like a fight.
I'm just moving you guys off to the side there.
Oh, rude.
But you are all loaded up in the speeder, and I assume Daryl's driving.
Yes, Drill is.
What is Daryl's? Does anyone have, or does Daryl have impulsive?
No, Drill does not have impulsive. Let's just take a look, see. No, he does not.
Okay. I'm going to throw something at you and see if this applies. So Tina has honest face, which basically says not pick you if they're looking for potential criminal or troublemaker. You won't be spot checked by customs agents and the like unless they have another reason to suspect you, or they're truly choosing at random. So Tina will put on her best honest face and pull out her toolbox to kind of give credence to we're just going there for work, to try to like influence them to not want to wave us over.
Okay.
Did anybody else have something like that?
No. I
Bosco
think-
has overconfidence.
Yeah, that goes the other way.
I have mistaken identity because I look like a clone. Because I am a clone.
So, Daryl, when you see this, are you slowing down or are you maintaining speed?
Oh, Drill would start to slow down and would mutter something like, "Well, what now? Come on, hurry."
As we're approaching or not approaching, can Bosco use his observation to see if he notices any other details besides obvious stormtroopers?
I don't know if there's anything in particular to notice unless there's something that... a
You're
question
not
that you
supposed to
have
tell
of
me that
me.
as a GM. You're supposed to say, "Oh, you didn't notice anything." Well, he's just trying to, is there any hidden sniper sentries?
If you want to make the roll, you're welcome to make the roll. But unless there's something specific you're chasing, yeah, I don't know if there's anything for you to
gathering
find.
information.
Because he's
But I
looking
guess
for
you-
hidden threats.
Yeah, you answered my
Okay.
question.
If
Yeah,
you're looking for
so-
hidden threats, then you can make an observation roll on that.
So with regards to Luck's tactics check, I think what he's probably going to be quietly instructing is play along. If they wave us forward, as soon as they come in there and they start to look remotely suspicious, hit them with maximum aggression. Otherwise, if we can just churn west and keep on going without drawing attention, that's fine. We'll do that.
should we have or Bosco's asking, well, hey, should I pull out my long arm? Or should I keep that hidden?
It should be within easy access. I mean, yeah, you've done the smuggle thing, but it's hidden. It's like you should be right there with it.
Okay, but not have it out ready.
No, you're not gonna yank it out until they're like, okay, we need to see your identification. Like, okay, and while whoever's going for the ID, then it's like those of us in the back, fling up the stuff and start shooting people.
Okay.
All right. So your intention is to try and go to the west and hope you don't get flagged.
Yep. Because
So,
I'm kind of presuming that there's like a line here of vehicles.
You're the only vehicle here at the moment, but there are people being checked by the troopers, those people on foot. As fate would have it, because nothing's easy, you will sort of get to there, and the trooper sergeant will point you out and start waving you over, like, pull over here.
Halt.
All right, get ready. We're about to have to shoot some people.
Since Daryl, you're driving, move the token where you want to stop.
Oh, fun times. Fun times. Give me a second.
I'm assuming you
All right.
can move the token.
Right.
I'll move it.
So
There.
calling out, it's like, all right, Nim, you shoot the guy on one of the speeders. Bosco, you go for this person. Et cetera, et cetera. So everybody has already picked a target.
Roger that.
Okay, so the two troopers at the back and the trooper that's closest to the speeders, they are currently checking IDs and stuff of foot traffic. The sergeant will tap the shoulder of the trooper next to him and will gesture for him to walk over or follow him over to your speeder.
Wait for the go sign.
They will approach and take up positions on either side of the vehicle. Daryl, you're the driver. Tina, you're doing your best to be the honest face. The trooper sergeant will say, "Where are you headed?"
Do they speak Wookiee?
They do not speak Wookiee.
And Daryl and Wookiee will simply say, I'm just the driver.
The trooper will look to whoever's next to Daryl, so in the sort of front passenger seat.
Yeah, I'm actually
say-
not sure who's in the front passenger seat.
Tina. If she's trying to
Yeah,
get her face
that's
out there.
True.
Yeah. So Tina is.
So
as
he'll
soon as they
turn to Tina and he'll say, "What did he say?"
let's see. Her Wookiee is broken, so she'll say that he said,
Something about driver.
yeah. Let's see. He said I'm the writer. And meanwhile, she's got her data pad out and she's flipping through it and she's going to pull up a business that's in the area past the checkpoint where she knows she could go like fix things and stuff. And
Oh, I thought you were going to be having like on the data pad like a translating like, no, wait, driver. He said driver. I'm sorry.
no. So she's basically gonna, smile, bat her eyelashes, and pull it on her full honest face, and say, "We're heading here. Can you give us directions on how to get there?" And it's some random like electronic shop or something where we could go get gear and repair stuff. And she kind of wags her toolbox on her lap.
I told you he didn't know where he was going.
All right, so you will start to explain that to the sergeant who's doing the talking. The other trooper on the other side, he will start looking in your vehicle and sort of inspecting what you've got. You succeeded your smuggling by 6. And I guess, is anyone holding out a weapon on their person?
God, no.
No, not
at the
Tina.
moment.
Daryl will be and Wookie will be saying to the stormtrooper, "You should see my usual ride. It's a lot more pimped up than this."
Oh, I saw the 2 1s and I thought, damn.
Well, it was the same roll. Exactly.
Okay. Should I do like an acting or a fast talk for
You can
Tina?
do either. I think either would suffice in this situation. And due to your honest face, I'll give you a +2.
Let's see. She gets a +1. The skills explicitly says.
Okay.
So for this, I think for the sole purpose of acting innocent, and it's for the acting skill.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so add a 1 to that.
Yeah, by 2.
And I'm assuming that's not. Actually, no, that is a contest, but you're going to be a +2 because you're smarter than them. I believe you are.
So by 4. Yes, because she was talking about improving her IQ to like 14.
Yeah, she's smarter than most people.
She's several points smarter than Luck.
All right, so you get the +4.
Yeah, she said she succeeded by 1, but she had
+1 for
+1, and then
honest
you said
face.
and +2 for the smarter, so that's
Yep.
plus by 4. So she beat him by 1.
Okay, so he will say, "Can I see your Imperial IDs, please?"
I'm not sure if I have an Imperial ID.
That might be our planning point, is to have some fake
Bam.
IDs.
Bam! I am
Done.
expending our planning
Or is
point
it-
for
Is chain code your ID?
chain code. Something they invented for Mandalorian, and it's really, really hard to actually make sense. Because it's like, oh, here's his chain code, so he can track someone's chain code across the galaxy. How does that work?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Hello. ¿Qué haces ahí abajo? Hijita. Eres un monstruito, una monstrita.
FX, we can hear your background.
Sorry. I got some aggro.
But yeah, so we'll use the planning point to have Imperial IDs.
Okay, so these will have to be legit because unless you have fake IDs or something like that.
Well, I think most of us have IDs already, unless we're zeroed. So the only one that was concerning there is Luck being a tramp.
All right, so he will check Tina's ID first. He pulls out his data pad, scans the ID. You'll see he looks at the image, then will hand the card back or the ID back to yourself. He will then address the Wookiee, and he'll say, tell him I need to see his ID.
So Tina will or whatever, and it comes across as he wants to see your finger.
He does speak. He does understand
I do. I'm
standard.
Oh, but this is more fun.
I get the feeling that Tina's trying to sabotage this for some reason.
I can understand.
Agent of
I can
Chaos.
understand Galactic Basic, yeah. So, how do I know if I have my ID with me?
That's
Planning points.
that was the planning point. I spent that so we have
All right.
some IDs.
Okay. Well,
Point means we thought of that.
all right. So I will show him the ID and keep my fingers. Well, he wouldn't be able to tell. Maybe I do give him the finger.
All right, so you will hand over your ID. He will scan it, read the information, then hand the ID back. This will proceed from person to person. However, Bosco, you're probably getting a little bit worried since you're actually a person of interest.
I'm not worried. Come on.
The other guy has sort of looked over your gear. If you have a toolbox in the back, he's opened the toolbox and shuffled about some stuff to make sure that it is just tools. And he seems to be mostly convinced that you've got nothing of interest. He sort of will tell the sergeant, there's nothing here, Sergeant. Does Nim have a criminal record?
Yes.
I thought you had the trait criminal
Yeah.
record.
He does. He's done his time, though.
All right, so Nim, your ID will be checked. You will see that on his little data pad, your name comes up with a sort of red heading. But he looks it over. He looks at you. He takes a. Do you have any weapons held out on you at all?
Nah.
He takes a closer look. And then he'll hand the ID back and he'll say, I hope you're keeping your nose clean.
I don't have a nose.
Don't get smart with me. Luck. Does Luck have an ID since he's a clone trooper?
That is that was part of the planning thing. I think he's probably his ID is given a different designation where he was like, because he's clearly a clone, but it's like, an admin monkey of someone, so somebody who wasn't a combat guy, but he's also wearing a respirator, and according to the ID, that was, he was very badly injured, and this is required. So it probably will, like, I don't know, come up with a different, it won't be red, but maybe, I don't know, yellow or orange or something, and like then pull up the record of a clone trooper that Luck actually knows is dead.
Wonder
Okay.
if they'd be considered like decommissioned or something.
I assume the clones were just cut loose. I don't know exactly what happened to them. They were cut
Yeah,
loose.
the clones got a raw deal. I mean, if you watch the hideously bad Obi-Wan show, there actually is a clone trooper who was like basically a hobo on this planet, who's like, spare some credits for veterans sort of thing. And it's just like, damn, they just said, well, we don't need you guys anymore.
All right,
So
so he will
hauling scrap
scan.
would be a totally appropriate thing for someone like that to do.
He will scan your ID, and then sort of give you a look over. Actually, I'll get a universe reaction roll from you, please, Luck.
Well, point of order, I do have mistaken identity. I don't
Actually,
actually
not.
remember how that works. I should actually look up how mistaken identity works.
Sorry, I don't mean a universe reaction roll. I mean a reaction roll. Add whatever modifiers you think are appropriate.
I don't think there's a die roll associated with mistaken identity.
This is to see how does he treat you as a veteran that deserves a little honor or some credit, or does he think you're scum?
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking. Okay, reaction modifier. Let's see. Wow. That's a good. I added both the born soldier and the social stigma. The born soldier may not classify, in which case I think it'd go down to a 13. I don't remember what a 13 is. Is that still good?
Yes.
That's still good.
All right.
Okay.
So in this case, he scans your ID. He will then hand it back to you.
Get some back to trooper.
He says, "Raw deal. What happened to you guys?" He will then look at Bosco for a moment, since Bosco is the last person to hand over ID, and he will then turn to the trooper. He'll say, "I think they're good. Move along."
And then Daryl crashes the speeder into him.
Yeah.
They will
Sorry.
they will step aside, and the sergeant will go, "Move along, move along."
And Darrell will say, "Okay, that's great. Thanks, guys." And turns to everybody and says, "See, told you it'd work."
Actually, I think we can probably go ahead straight in this case, right?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, so we could continue on like, oh yeah, we totally intended to do that. We weren't going to try to avoid this thing.
And just for background fluff, as you're driving away, you'll hear the blaster bolt from a stormtrooper as someone just got shot that was getting investigated.
Oh,
And we'll look back and it's like, oh dude, you knew that guy. You dug coal together. Or Doug McCoxic together.
And you will drive off, eventually getting to your meet.
Well, that
Actually,
went better
I
than I expected. I was expecting a firefight.
I think I probably would have added Tina's acting as a bonus to your reaction roll.
Hmm.
I don't know if a 16 would have made it a very good.
Remember where the cutoff
Actually,
is.
I did forget something. Is that would have? I think it would have still been at the tail end of good. 13, because I forgot I had the intolerance towards the Empire, so I would have had like a penalty towards that. So it would have probably evened out.
Either way, the trooper or the sergeant seemed to have some respect for the clones, and has waved you through. And
Clearly,
you
one of his first sergeant was a clone.
possibly. And no one had to get shot.
Man,
That's
no
a
one
shame.
had to get shot. It's always someone who has to get shot. Always.
Damn it, I had a good plan too.
What was your plan? And I just glanced over to the Twitch thing, and I see Brian removing all the stormtroopers from the combat tracker.
Yeah, sad face.
He's like, "Oh yeah, no one got shot. Damn it!"
Now I was gonna jump out of the speeder, hit that first bike, basically at a full tilt, kick the steering vane on the front of it out of alignment, and then jump kick the next guy.
Oh,
You're welcome to retcon all that and go ahead and do that.
No, we'll
I can
do
put
that
the
again.
I can put the
I'll let
stormtroopers
it
back
go.
on the tracker.
I'm certain we will encounter this particular environment again. You may just have to flip it, so we will go, wow, this looks sort of familiar.
Different street.
Yep.
That was High Street. Next time it's Low Street.
And it's just
It'll be-
flipped completely around.
Yeah.
It'll be Minerva Avenue.
Not Minerva Street, Minerva Avenue. It's worse when it's terrible when someone's, oh yeah, he's on the corner of Minerva and Minerva.
It's like going to Atlanta. Half the city is named Peach Street.
Oh, I know. Oh my good lord.
All right. So you will arrive at this secluded part of the city, and emerging from the shadows, you will, well, you get to this part of the city, you will hear the buzz and the occasional bzzz of the environmental shields that cover the city. Emerging from the shadows is this guy. Saw Gerrera. You will recognize him from your previous mission.
I'm
I
gonna give
shoot
him
him in the face.
to give him a guy nod as I jump out of the speeder and then bang the side of it so the panel thing falls open and I can extract my rifle. Not in an aggressive manner, just I don't feel comfortable without it.
He goes, "That's cool."
Yeah, Tina worked that up for us. Bosco had the idea.
Emerging from the shadows behind him is this fella.
Better be his two whatever friends. Oh, boo! Where's the what the hell was he called? Two straws, not two straws.
For, I guess, Drill and Luck, you can give me an IQ roll or a soldier roll.
I'm absolutely doing soldier. And I failed by 2. Even though he was going, those are some awful Jedi-like robes this fellow's wearing.
Well,
Maybe
since
we should have played the lottery.
I know, right?
you rolled exactly the same thing.
What a twist. Well, sort of the same thing, just slightly out of order.
Saw will say, I'm glad you could make it here.
Well, it wasn't as easy as we'd like. Things are getting tough here.
With any luck, we should be able to alleviate some of that pressure.
Certainly interested in hearing that. New friend?
He says, not a new friend. He's been with me for a little while. Cass, this here is Luck, Daryl, Bosco, Nim, and Tiny. The guy in the very almost Jedi-looking robes, not that you picked up on that, he will just sort of nod. Tina, do you carry a lightsaber on your side? Do you carry your lightsaber on your side or clipped to your side?
She didn't in the vehicle, but she would have popped it out of whatever hidden compartment that we stored it in and would have it with her. So they might have seen her like pull it out of the compartment and like tuck it around her belt.
Except she wears it the wrong way.
Yes, it is
How is
set
it the
so
wrong
that
way?
if she accidentally triggers it, it would like saber her through her armpit.
Well, that's not the wrong way. Darth Vader wears his like that, believe it or not. If you look at the way he wears it in the original trilogy, it is blade up.
Yeah,
He's
but
just
she wears
crazy.
it at like 3 o'clock, where Vader would wear it at like 2 o'clock or something. So in her case, it would actually cut her arm off.
I actually think it's a really cool idea because it's like you just grab it, you continue bringing it up while you're igniting it, so the blade's already. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I was slightly disappointed that Anakin didn't wear his like that in the the prequel trilogy,
We aren't going to speak about the prequel trilogy.
It's a
which
shame
are
there weren't.
better than the sequel trilogy.
It's a
They're
shame
not
there weren't
quite.
more missed opportunities in the prequel trilogy.
All right, so you're climbing out of the speeder, and Tina, you see this guy sort of locks eyes on you, steps forward in a fairly aggressive sort of manner.
And he immediately finds himself being faced off by the team. Like, what the hell are you doing? She's with us. You don't want that.
He will stop, and Saw will say, Cass, what's going on? What's with this?
Is there a problem?
He, this Cass fella seems pretty angry, and he takes a sort of a step closer to Tina, and you'll see that he will reach for your lightsaber.
Darrell will reach for Cass.
Yeah, she will kind of pivot and put her hand on it and say, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
All right,
She
so
said, "You want this?"
Darrell, so you grab this guy's arm, and he'll say, "Let me go."
And I'll say, easy with the easy hands, buddy, in Wookiee.
You want to explain this, Saw?
He will.
Real quick, is he attractive? Like, does he have like the attractive trait? Tina's a flirt.
Well, let's have the universe decide that. I will roll 3D. Actually, Tina, you can make the roll for it.
Okay, just a reaction roll or
Universe
just 3d6?
reaction. Universe reaction.
Okay. All right, well, I'll just give you one. You can figure out.
Yeah. No, he's he's ugly.
Okay.
This image is not does not do him justice.
No, it doesn't.
So he's not attractive. He's probably, in your eyes, maybe on the unattractive side. Let's say that he has a scar.
I was gonna say the side of his face that we can't really see is like kind of badly burned from blaster fire or something.
Yeah.
So his ear is that ear is like completely melted away.
There is a like a burnt sort of scar, long scar on the side of his face, and part of his ear is missing. Saw will say, "Cass, explain yourself." He points. He sort of pulls his hand free from Darrell, your grip, and he steps back, and he'll point to Tina, specifically the lightsaber at your side. You do not deserve to hold that weapon.
Actually, she probably does.
Is that in character?
Yeah.
And Darrell's gonna, in Wookiee, he's gonna mimic him and go, "You don't deserve to have that weapon."
It just sounds threatening when he says it, though.
So Tina will kind of narrow her eyes and say, "Explain. What is this weapon to you?"
That is the weapon of a Jedi. You are no Jedi.
She'll just say,
on,
"No, but not yet." And she'll just kind of keep her hand on it, but she'll say, "This belonged to."
I'm trying to remember.
The
That was
Jedi
the
Master.
general.
Yeah,
What's his
is
name?
General Isode. And he trained my mother before she died, and she just kind of breaks off.
He sort of gives you a sort of confused look. He says, "A new master, Isode."
Lucky's going to give this guy another look, try to see if he can place him.
You cannot place this guy at all. He's fairly young. He is fairly young, and certainly too young to sort of be a Jedi.
How did you know him? You weren't with the 336th.
He says, "I was at the Jedi Temple."
great. We got another survivor of the damned Order 66. Clearly, the
However-
Emperor dropped the ball.
However, if you do your math, Luck, you're probably the only one that would have sort of any sort of knowledge of this. If you do the math, this guy is young enough that he was probably a youngling.
Huh. Well, if that's the case, then you don't deserve this blade either, youngling.
Saw will look at this guy, or look at Cass, and then he'll look at Luck and he'll say, "Let's all just calm down. We have more important things to deal with right now."
We absolutely do. The Empire is being a pain in the ass.
You'll see Cass will sort of, he still has an angered look on his face, but he will sort of step back, cross his arms.
Luck is totally going to have to, like, quote Master, what's his name, down the road.
ASOD.
Yeah. I've got the thing open. I
should
remember.
Since it was mentioned, I should bring up the picture.
Shari, ¿tú haces esto, por favor?
Dime.
Quiero que yo quiero escuchar.
Oh, Mike. Kid aggro, it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you play with Mark and he's sitting there and he's like right next to him, his son is playing a different game and like shouting. It's like, all right, dude.
All right, so Saw will say, "Well, let's all settle." He says, "Luck, I have a mission that I need some help with."
All right, I'm listening.
He sort of looks
You
up.
probably-
He looks up sort of at the hovering Star Destroyer.
Oh, please tell me you want to take that, because I've really been thinking I want my own Star Destroyer.
His eyebrows raise. He says, "If I thought I could take it, I would." If you have any ideas or plans, I am willing to listen.
Maybe we could just take a piece of it.
Well, no, not at the moment. We're still in the planning stages. Don't have enough bodies,
He nods. He says, "Well, I don't know if you know who's on board that Star Destroyer."
Tanaka?
He'll nod. And he'll say, "He has been working with the administrator here. There has been communications taking place. Nearby, there is an Imperial communications facility that has been responsible for all the transmissions. I plan to lead a raid on that facility, download all its communication logs. As you know, the Empire, if nothing else, are thorough. If we can get those logs and decrypt them, we shall..." This is hurting my voice.
Well, you're the one that decided to use Saw in the way he talks. He breaks off, pops a lozenge.
Coughs a
Uses
bit,
air
has
breather.
a drink of water. If we can decode those logs or those communications, we can be privy to Moff Panaka's recent activities.
Well, how many bodies do we have for this? I mean, you look at the communications thing that he is pointing out and compare it to the data that we have. See if we can't figure out what we can tell.
All right,
Like, is
so
that in the no-go zone for non-Imperials?
it is definitely a no-go zone. The I might as well show these images. Hang on. Let me clean up some stuff.
You're having combat maps of this area is probably not going to come as a shock to anyone.
Nope.
Duh.
Wow, that actually looks kind of isolated, like it's not in the city proper.
It is not in the city proper. It is actually, because if you recall, the sky cities on Phantine are built into the mountains.
Right.
Well, this is a facility that is sort of on top of the mountains, so they can get clear communications.
Right.
So I guess you've been here long enough to know of its existence.
Oh,
It is
yeah, we
definitely
probably scouted around all the Imperial stuff in my off time, use macro binoculars, that kind of crap.
so you would know its its location and such, and Saw will bring up a sort of tactical map,
It'll be a hologram, of course.
of course.
Do we have any idea on the garrison size? Wow, those are some really small hexes. And that's also another really cool map.
Also AI generated.
Well, it's good for that at least.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if I'll entirely retire campaign cartographer, but it certainly helps.
So the question I have is, are you actually plugging this information into like Midjourney and generating it, or is it somebody else who's just doing it and you're like, oh, that's cool, I can use that?
No, these are ones that I plugged into Midjourney.
Interesting. I would like to see the phrasing, see how how that works. Cool.
I suppose I can get rid of this Minerva map. So, that is the facility. He says, I'm not too sure of its current garrison, but I imagine security has been increased.
To say the least.
I'm not too concerned about the what happens after, but I want those communications logs.
Well, the assaulters will be worried about what happens after. Has he already started working on a tactical assault plan? I mean, does he have something in mind? How many bodies do we have available apart from the PCs? Because if it's like the PCs and Saw and Cass, that's like, ooh, this could get ugly.
He has the PCs, Saw, Cass, and a handful of mooks.
Oh yeah, including Red Jumper and Dead Meat. No, wait, those weren't with Saw. They were with
They went
the
with
other guy.
they're with you guys.
But they're not here. They were with the agent guy.
No, I think Red Jumper stayed with you guys.
I thought both of them left.
Well, they were originally with what's his name, but I think they did volunteer to stay behind.
We'll have to check the archive. But my memory, which is surprising considering that was in like November or something like that last year. My memory is that they stayed with you guys. He says, I haven't got a plan as yet. I'm hoping we could work something together.
Yeah. But, well, yes, we can probably do that. It's just going to be very tight with the wandering patrols and the added scrutiny.
Well, we didn't want it to be easy, did we?
And it won't be, but that's cool.
Well, like
there's
they
the mission.
say, if nothing worth doing is, yeah, I can't even finish that line.
Easy, right?
Yes, easy. My brain is failing me.
Okay, I'm trying to think of the coolest potential way to get up there, and I keep coming up to a mountain climb. Where it's like,
We
you know,
do
we
a
have to
halo
go
drop.
up the. No, screw. We couldn't do a halo drop because we'd have to get up there around the Star Destroyer, which is right above the city. No, I was thinking like we sneak out of this, you know, well, not necessarily out of the city, but off to where someplace where it's like no longer part of the actual city part, and we have to do a hazardous climb.
We build a very large trebuchet.
No. But just a hazardous climb is boring. We need more.
We could all have jetpacks.
Well, you do have
No, you're gonna have to reduce the use of jetpacks because they'd be like, you know, no, we can't use jetpacks because they'll be able to detect them since this is a really powerful comms relay system.
you have a walker stashed away somewhere. You've also got a
You can
lat.
fit 2 people into the walker. Period.
Yeah, but a lot of them could hang on the outside.
3 if 2 of them are Jawa sized.
And you've also got potentially loophole that you can call in.
Right. Okay, well, are we moving on to the planning stage of this, or?
I think so. I would also like to know more about what the actual dish is capable of, because, and Luck will actually mention this while he's discussing this with Saw, is like if we could alternately not just download the information there, but if we could turn that into a weapon and attack the Star Destroyer to damage it and force it to retreat. that could give us additional time.
Saw will nod.
And if
And
no
he'll
one will
say-
stop him, Luck will slip into a tale about the 336 doing something like that during the Clone Wars.
Saw will sort of nod and say, well, if something like that is possible, then I think it's a plan that we should consider.
I actually have no idea game-wise how you would do that. But I was just thinking, I've been rereading the Expanse books, and they actually, in the third one, that was one of their plans when they were in
And the laser communicator.
turn the laser communicator, ramp it up into a weapon. Obviously, the exact same wouldn't be the same with Star Wars because the tech is slightly different, but
Well, it's all like
Well.
HoloNet.
yeah. But I figure, you can do some hand wavy stuff, like, maybe you can upload something that causes the Star Destroyer to shut down or something.
Create a virus.
Or maybe,
Hmm.
that's exactly what we'll do is we'll turn it into a laser, and then as the Moff Panaka is like coming down on his shuttle, we zap the shuttle with it. Yeah, but definitely taking suggestions about how to make the how we get there to be to be cinematic and cool.
What other information do we have about this place? Was this a government/military facility before, or was this a civilian facility that was taken over? For
No.
starters,
This was
Saying that,
built
however,
when the Empire took over. This was built. This is to facilitate, Imperial communications and stuff.
yeah, Luck. If you ask that, Luck may say, yeah, the Confederacies had something up there, but we leveled it with artillery. So anything that he has from that time is not going to be useful now.
I guess the next question is what kind of traffic goes in and out of there. And again, that kind of goes to the question of garrison, whether or not they are actually stationing troops there, how many, how long.
What the
Well,
response time is from the starbase or
that's
the Star Destroyer.
information you don't know at present. You would have to utilize your wits to find that out. However you find that out, maybe you go there, you observe, use contacts, hack stuff. I don't know.
Okay, well, we can't really plan the op until we have that info.
Well, so what Luck is also thinking, and he's probably not going to go into this kind of detail because he does not have the callus disad, so he won't think this. However, Saw may actually, because based off the stuff he saw as something of a considered a radical among the rebels. But if we could orchestrate like a major uprising inside the city with like the criminal element just going, all right, you know what, screw this noise, we're gonna start a major riot. So if the Empire is so super focused on that, we can just take advantage of the chaos. Unfortunately, that would probably get a lot of people killed, and I can see how some people first thought there is Tina might be going, whoa, 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 hold on, not sure about
Mhm.
that. Hell, I think Nim might actually be in that camp as well, where it's like, whoa, not
He
sure about
is.
that.
Yep.
Saw will say, it's a good plan. Unfortunately, casualties of war are an unavoidable fact.
Yes, but if we lean too hard into that, we become the Empire. And I was a soldier for the Republic, not this thing.
Saw is kind of silent. You probably realize he's going, yeah, I don't care.
Did we establish a timetable yet?
There is no
Well,
timetable.
Yeah, plus, but at the same time, we don't know how long Panak is going to be here.
As far as you can tell, Panaka is here longer term. But yeah, you don't know exactly, but you get the feeling that he's going to be here longer term.
Right. So, if nothing else, we need to get some recon going, some eyes on. Luck can absolutely use that crappy seeker droid of his. Try to get into position and send it up, and he doesn't care if it gets destroyed; it's garbage. Beyond that, okay. So I'm also looking at the map. What is this? It looks like a railroad track or something, monorail or something.
It's a monorail to nowhere that used to be part of the Confederate facility. It is no longer used.
Okay, well that's too
Also,
bad.
it's a duo rail.
Okay, well that's an option. And this looks like some sort of cave.
It is
Where's it lead to?
into the underground portion of the facility.
Okay, so
So you would have, your, if you recall the shield generator
right,
bunker in
yeah,
Jedi, you'll have these power banks going zzz, zzz, zzz. In there you'll find
right, yeah.
all that sort of stuff. So you'll find the power generators and that sort of stuff.
Okay, so we need to get recon. Try to figure an idea on numbers. I'm wondering if there's any other ways we could get that information. Let me check something. We could theoretically have Bosco reach out to Kalen Bree to see if he could provide any, at least information / assistance.
Can
I don't
find
have
people to
any.
work there.
We did. Oh yeah, good. Thank you. We did turn over those the captured imps that we had, so they may
Yeah.
be able to provide any insight about that.
Not likely, since they were ISB agents. So they were.
No, they weren't. They were. Oh well, we had the ISB agents. We also had the the walker pilots and or drivers and stuff like that.
Right.
And did we not churn over somebody else to him? I can't remember. Regardless,
Probably. But yeah, people that work there, that commute there.
Well, this is
people
not a
that built the
civilian facility. This is
I don't know how
entirely
long it's been
Imperial.
here. Yeah, but that doesn't mean they don't bring in outside contractors. That'd be pretty normal.
Something that does
Also-
occur to me, Daryl actually noted that guy and that guy and that guy are accepting bribes, so they could be
hmm
potentially shatter points.
There's also the dozen call girls that get delivered every Friday. Because we need Daryl in a bikini.
Disguised as a
Sure.
Twi'lek.
Hey, he put points in dancing.
He did?
I don't know. if
Actually,
he
I didn't.
did.
Well,
I didn't.
he
That's,
could,
that's
he
always
could
going to be a
still,
default.
he could like go in there and they're like, somebody looks at the Wookiee and goes like, this is a female Wookiee? I'm like, yeah, of course it is. Can't you tell, racist?
You gonna check?
I'm looking at the for inspiration, like the the GURPS action exploits, section 2 for gathering
Mhm.
That's not a
information.
bad idea, actually.
Uh,
Good point.
One of them is doing research, searching blueprints, databases, files, maps, subject
Yeah,
to
I don't
bad
think
when
we're going to get a lot of information on that case since this is a military
well,
facility.
it just says subject to bad when researching a secretive individual or group. So
All right.
You could
there's
always organize a raid on Scarif to get the design plans for this place.
No, that has to happen later.
we can do visual. I think Bosco has a pretty decently high observation. If he could perch himself somewhere he's got like long range binoculars, things like that, and maybe just watch for troop movement or whatever, things like that.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking of the same thing. I was thinking get into sort of a position and send if nothing else, send the recording drone up to at least get a look. And if it's like, oh, hey, there's some hidden batteries, we don't want to sky drop in here because those things will deploy and open up and shoot us.
If they've got a more or less permanent garrison up there, they're going to be taking deliveries of supplies and stuff. So there is going to be things moving in and out. And wherever they visit are places we could get more information.
Perhaps we should be taking some notes on these ideas that you're coming up with. Because I'm sure
There's also-
when we come to the next session, half of these ideas would have been forgotten.
There's also hidden the officers club, some carousing, things like that.
You probably couldn't get it at that facility, but there are going to be administrators that are probably off-site, and that may still apply that way.
And then, like Rigel said, I can possibly contact Kalen Bree if he shows up. I've got a 9 or less for him to show up.
Yeah, that's probably a good one to start with. Wonder if Novasec handles any of the security.
You could almost guarantee that they would not.
I'd almost guarantee that they would. The military subcontracts that sort of thing all the time.
Yeah, I doubt they'd be doing it with the Empire. That's something the Empire would do. Not on the facility itself.
Yeah, I suspect at this. I'm actually surprised Novasec is still around at this point. I'm surprised it hasn't already been nationalized. In fact, that's probably the next step. Okay, yes. So I don't remember what the other ideas we had. Oh yeah.
You know, it occurs to me that I don't think the notes used to be live.
They did not. You had to reshare them. They're
That's
live.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's very cool. That means you can see my crappy typing and the fact that
Mm-hmm.
the fact that the D doesn't always cooperate on this keyboard.
That is cool.
Let's see. Hey, FX, since you have the Action 2 open there, what are the other bullet points?
All right,
Research.
Yeah, I can like really briefly go. So you have categories are like physical searches, audio surveillance, visual, bugs and wires, intercepts, files and records, dumpster diving, contacts.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
like
all of that is probably still going to apply to some degree.
I think intercepts might work because that's like monitoring their communications and things like that, maybe with tiny.
Yeah, well, just like I
into.
said with the supplies, communication and all those things that you mentioned are probably all going to be applicable the same way. They're going to interact with the local populace in some manner. But yeah, we could get some hackery going on there too.
Planting bugs, things like that.
Or bugging plants.
Social engineering, like bribery, administration to talk to people, contacts. And there's just a lot of options. I think there's, it pretty much lets you use a lot of different skills. Sex appeal, see, forensic accounting, research, dumpster diving, radio intercepts, wiretaps, computer monitoring.
Just had an idea that might be pretty cool considering the current situation. Perhaps you guys could rig up something so that it will incriminate Administrator Pratal,
Mm-hmm.
and then you blackmail him for information.
I mean, I like that one for sure.
I was also, related to that. I was also contemplating if there was a way we could sucker those damn pirates, the Crimson Corsair guys, to just show up and cause problems. Of course.
You could tell him, we ripped you guys off. You want to get revenge? Bring it, Phantine.
Well, yeah, but I would want to phrase it in such a way to where it looked like it was actually an Imperial plan to, pit them against the Empire.
Fair enough.
Granted, they're pirates, and they would be absolute morons if they dropped out of light speed, see that there's a freaking Star Destroyer there, and did not immediately go, nope, and turn around and ran away.
Criminals are a superstitious and cowardly lot.
Well, you don't necessarily need to upload something incriminating, but somehow incriminate Gratal. Or maybe Gratal could be subverted in such a way that to relieve the current heat on him, he might help you out to make Panaka look bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we just need to get Panaka in a vulnerable position so he can get assassinated. Because we know it'll work.
He doesn't get assassinated here.
Yeah, I actually think he gets assassinated on Naboo.
Oh. Well, never mind then.
But yeah, the history is not written yet. If you guys kill Panaka, you kill Panaka.
Oh, make sure to write down the trebuchet.
No.
One thing's for certain. You probably won't find the Empire starting to, bombard the place with turbo lasers. This place is too valuable for them.
No, they'll just drop down some virus bombs to kill everybody. Oh, wait, I'm thinking of Imperium of Man. Never mind.
Well, they could just destroy all the biologics and then send a bunch of droids in.
That was what I was thinking. Is like you drop in a whole bunch of virus bombs, kill everybody's biological, and then repopulate it with prisoners.
On the other hand, we know that droids are apparently very expensive. And it's cheaper to have humans actually assemble large pieces of equipment.
How many are on the floor? Never more than 12. Other ideas that we should consider and implement implement. Feel free to chime in here, peoples.
You may want, once we're done with this, you may want to take your note there and copy that into the Discord. So during the week, you can flesh out some ideas.
I suspect we're going to find ourselves wanting some kind of Imperial ID in order to get in. We may have to deal with that. I don't know. We don't have a vehicle we could use for that. The lot is too old.
And we
have a
gave them
walker,
the shuttle
but that's just
Tidarium.
a walker. Yeah, well, we could, if they still have that, I suppose we could use it. Now, we could go ahead and have FX make the roll for Kalen just to see if he's going to be available.
Yeah, you're welcome to make the roll.
Okay, and I still got my luck I haven't used, so let's start it. So let's see. Contact rebel leader availability rolling. Rolled a failure by 3.
So
I'm gonna
you're
use
going
my
to use
luck.
luck.
Game.
Might as well. Second roll, success by 2. Third roll, failure by 6. So success by
All right.
2.
Do you want to put a note next to Kalen Bree that the roll was successful?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a way I could bring Nem's family into this. I think if that were the case, it would be that somebody would have some kind of contract with the facility or have been involved with one. Or even just some inside knowledge. Might as well roll it. I haven't done it in ever, I don't think.
You could do something like deliberately crash a ship into the place and have your family called to come and pick up the scrap.
I think I'll use luck.
Don't use me.
Wow.
Damn it.
Yet you failed by 1 is the best.
Any
Yeah,
other
looking-
ideas at this point?
Yeah, at this point, we have an excessive amount of possibilities. We need to start narrowing those down, actually.
I think that could just be based on what skills we have and what we're able to do.
Partly
What we're good at.
Result of the research, so we need to do the research first.
Did Tiny have the research skill? I think I have it.
I can't unsee that belly dancing Wookiee now.
Yep, that's in your head.
You're welcome.
What did I do to you?
All right. Well, I did want to finish early, so unless there's anything else that you want to take care of, I think the actual plan we could flesh out during the week, or ideally flesh out during the week.
Where Eagles Dare. That's the movie I was trying to remember.
Oh. What level of bad are we probably going to be dealing with here? Might as well be able to consider that.
For anything that's security wise, like encryption and stuff like that, you're looking at a bad of 5. So it will actually vary.
Yeah, that's a start.
But if you want to hack and decrypt and stuff like that, it's going to be 5. But if you want to Hudson run a bypass on a door, that won't necessarily have a bad.
Okay. Yeah, that'll get us closer. So we know if we're starting to talk about hacking, we'll have to deal with that. Tina still doesn't have that high a skill in hacking, does she?
Let me see. She's got a 12, but she has her bot that has a really, really high hacking skill.
Right.
So we can always throw him at it.
Something
What's
to
his skill level?
consider. There is no time limit on this, so you could be spending weeks, perhaps months, setting up and planning.
Yeah, true.
And use
So,
a character skill point training to level up our skills.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or up.
Perhaps Tina and Cass can resolve their differences, and
Especially when Luck points out to Cass, it's like, that master told me something once about anger leading to hate. So, and you seem pretty angry right now, son.
Given that we have that sort of ambiguously potentially long amount of time, when it comes to something like, for example, service contracts to the facility, we might actually be able to get a service contact to the facility instead of finding one that already exists.
Might be able
Yeah.
to get a job and
Perhaps
plant
a
ourselves
medical
inside.
medical supplies, maybe.
Right? I can set up
keeping in mind
some
that
kind
Bosco is
shell
a
company
person of interest.
He'll have to have his inevitable puppet at his company do it for him. Could have Nim spy for him while Nim's working over there.
So Nim still has the job.
I think I had already specified he'd probably keep coming in there every now and again, just on a individual contract basis.
You're a dude that turns up and everyone says, "Do you know that dude?" Nah. Comes in here every now and
He's
then.
been here before, I think. We probably should have some kind of mountain climbing or something like that in there.
Or, because it was mentioned, does Tina perhaps want to approach Cass and
Have a very good time.
spend some points in force abilities?
That's a possibility. Let me think about that and take a look at the force abilities. I guess it kind of depends on what he has that he could teach her. Because if he was just a youngling, he wouldn't have learned much, I guess, before
But that puts him a
everything went
little
down.
ahead of you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
you could at least learn some basics. Do you have the psionic powers book?
I think I have a PDF.
Okay. Yeah, that one is that format for the powers is a lot easier to wrap your head around. So that's probably a good place to start.
Cool. Okay, I'll take a look.
Cool. All right. Well, I have copied that and I haven't pasted it yet because I was going to rearrange some stuff, but I've copied this into Notepad++, so I'll definitely put those ideas and notes into the Discord.
Cool.
So we
But
have
other
the
than that,
ingredients of a plan. We don't have a plan. Not
we don't
even a
even have
partial
12.
plan.
We don't
but
even
we
have
have
12%
ingredients
of a
for a
plan.
plan.
And it would be good if we could get a plan before next session, so at least I can have some stuff ready for you that
We're gonna
relate to
have
the
like
plan.
4 or 5 plans, and then we're gonna, at the last minute, we're gonna throw them all out and
And
go
do
with
none
a
of them.
different plan.
Sounds like a plan.
Precisely.
Cool. All right.
All right, then we'll leave it there. Everyone can get 2 points.
I forgot what that felt like.
And now the GM is feverishly looking for his outro script.
Already
Is
got
this
it.
5?
This is episode 5, yeah. 5.1 or 5A. Just occurred to me that going 5.1.2.3 is probably a lot better than A, B, and C.
Well, it's too late now.
Why is it better?
And that just seems to make a little bit more sense.
I think actually, I think I may have done them both. Let me look, because I think I actually, yeah, the titles I use like S1 E04A, E04C, stuff like that. But then in the body, I'm like episode 4, name, comma, part 1, part 2, part 3.
Fair enough. All right, well, unless you guys have any questions or want to do any point spending before we wrap it up,
No.
Good to go.
then I will say, if you are watching this and you have any questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Woof woof.
Dog says goodbye.
So does Darrell.